Welcome to episode 3 in my mixed media gallery wall series. For today's project, I will be using a 5x7 wood gallery blank along with the acanthus mold and air dry clay. I start each tile by applying a thin layer of paint couture embossing medium. After that's dry, I always apply a layer of white paint. Here is the beautiful IOD acanthus mold. I'm applying a thin layer of cornstarch to help remove the air-dry clay from the mold. To even the clay out, I'll take a plastic card and run it along that micro rim. It really helps ensure that the back of the mold is even. Once I get all of my elements cast, I'll play around with the configuration a little bit until I'm happy. Then I like to use Tight Bond Quick and Thick on the back of the mold. I use my finger to smooth it out, making sure that I have glue along all of the edges. Air dry clay tends to curl a little bit as it dries, and this really helps that from happening. I took a palette knife to trim off the excess clay where the elements met and where it overlapped at the bottom of the wood gallery blank. When using clay, it's really easy to layer the castings. While I really liked the configuration, I thought it was missing something. So I took another element from that same mold and attached it to the top of the existing pieces. I like to let my air dried clay dry overnight. I really like when it gets cracks here and there because it gives that old world feel that I'm always seeking. I started with the black paint, being careful to cover all of the edges. I didn't worry a whole lot about getting black paint onto the board because I'll be covering that up in a future step. Once that was dry, I did the remaining element with a cream or beige colored paint, and I liked the way that those elements played off of one another. Once the trimming pieces were painted, I decided to do the background in an opposite color. So where it's black, I'll be doing cream, and where it's cream, I'll be painting black. I also like to paint the edges of the wood gallery blank with the black paint. Here it looks really messy, but in future steps, I go in with fine line paint brushes and really clean up those edges. I just didn't want the video to last forever. I'm really careful to get good coverage. If I get one of the colors onto the other one, I will go back over the top of it with the first color. I find that this really adds to the overall look when you're done. bring out the details in the mold, I'll go in with a baby wipe and gently rub back until I start seeing some of those lines. If I get a little bit of paint on the cream colored area, I'm not going to worry about that because I'll just go back in and cover that. I'm using Paint Couture pale gold metallic paint for the center element. I'm being careful to get complete coverage on all sides of it for a cohesive look. Just like I did on the mold elements, I'm taking a baby wipe to expose some of the texture that I got on the base of the tile from the embossing medium. I'll also take the baby wipe and drag it along the edge to make it look worn and vintage. After touching up the background where I got some of the black paint onto the cream color paint, I like to drag my paintbrush along the edge of the tile. I'll dry that and then I'll go in with a baby wipe and soften that edge and pull some of that darker color actually into the piece. That really makes it look old. My favorite part is the finishing touches. I'm using Paint Couture Black Chiffon Glaze. It's a softened black glaze, and I will wipe it back and wait until you see the magic that that creates. The very last thing I did was I took the gold metallic paint on a fan brush and lightly hit all of the high points on the molds. And I think that that just completed the look. I really hope that you're enjoying this gallery wall series. And if you'd like to see more, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell, and you'll be notified when new videos appear.